This is just what works for me and my plants. Do what you feel. This is just what I do, okay? Hi everyone, in today's video I am going to do my semi-hydroponics flush day, basically my plant care maintenance day. If this is the first semi-hydroponic video you're stumbling across, check out my playlist. I have a whole semi-hydroponics playlist, and also hopefully if you're watching this you've already seen my video on how to mix the nutrients and adjust the pH, because I am not going to do that again for this video. I'm already going to have it pre-mixed. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my philodendron silver sword because it's right by my sink. Oh. Look at that, it just leans on the wall. This one is loving the leca light. I'm gonna pull it straight out of the pot. That's how I easily pull it out of the pot. I just make these pull tabs by putting some medical tape on both sides so I can just pull it straight out. And look at those roots. Oh my goodness, beautiful roots coming out. It's inevitable for the roots to grow down into the pot. As you can see, there's no rot. Those roots are just white. I am not worried about that at all. So when you first pot in a plant, I would make sure to not fully submerge it into water, especially if you are converting it for the first time from soil to semi-hydroponics. Just as you would in soil, the leca layer at the bottom, and then the plant, and then more leca on top. So then the water level at the 1/3-ish level, and eventually the roots, although they don't start off straight into the water, they will grow down. You could go ahead and trim them or leave them or upsize it. I'm not going to upsize the pot. I've had it for a while in here like this. I'm going to go ahead and dump out that old nutrient water. So my video prior was showing my in-between flush days. Today is a flush day, flushing the pot through. I'm just rinsing it and replacing the nutrients. When I was completely new to semi-hydroponics, I was doing this flush day every 2 weeks. Now, I honestly do it maybe once a month. It might be a better idea if you're doing it for the first time to do flush days a little bit more frequently if you and your plants are completely new to this medium, just because it gives you a chance to, on these flush days, to really notice how your plants are doing. Like if you happen to not get enough soil out, it just makes sure that you're kind of on top of things, because the way I do it now is just because I've been doing it for a while. So these right here are pre-mixed nutrients. I mixed these about a week ago. I normally don't need to keep it any longer than that because I don't mix a massive amount when I am mixing, because I know the amount I need for my plants. It shouldn't really be a problem. Just make sure that if you do keep the nutrients, you have it in a cool, dark place. Don't stick it in direct sunlight. Make sure the water is not too hot. It's not like one of my showers. Just rinse it through. Sometimes I will unpot, repot a plant if I find it necessary, if I want to check on the roots. If you are first transitioning a plant and for any reason it doesn't look like it's doing too hot, you might want to check on the roots, like unpot it completely and check on the roots. This is efflorescence at the top. It's what happens when the salts and the minerals come through to the leca that's sitting at the top. When you flush things through like this, you just make sure that you are flushing through all the buildup. It's not like I'm timing this or anything. I just do it until I don't see any more of the white on top. I also with the leaves, that is all flushed through. I already rinsed this through too, but what I'm gonna do is, it doesn't really matter if you want to put the pot in and then pour it through, but you could also just, you know, pour the water in and then put the plant through like this. That's pretty much the process, and with rinsing it through, all of the leca on top is clearly wet, and capillary action is going to happen anyways and bring that nutrient reservoir up. So then in the next week, what I do is my in-between flush day routine, so I can link that video, so check that one out too. I do my prophylactic plant sprays on this day too. I normally have a mix that I make. I will link my video at the top of the one I make. This was actually sent to me by the Etsy seller who my husband bought that philodendron Birkin from. I didn't even know I was going to be sent this. She just surprised me because she saw my very dramatic plant unboxing. Oh my god. Oh my god. How big is it? Are you scared too, Milo? I'll link it at the top if you want to watch that video. But it's from Plante Boutique. She has beautiful plants. She actually makes some plant sprays now. Look at this packaging. I mean, definitely my taste. So she makes this plant spray. It's called really. But basically, I think this one, based on the ingredient list, it's similar to my plant spray that I make. And because she sent me this, I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I spray all of the leca at the top. I also spray down the rest of the plant. Just because a plant is in semi-hydroponics does not mean that you can't get pests. You may be less likely to get some pests. I found dead fungus gnats in my water reservoirs before, but it's not like I've had an infestation with my plants in semi-hydro. Keep in mind that I do have some plants in soil still, especially all my new ones. I haven't been able to convert them yet. I haven't noticed like any larvae, any like reproduction of the fungus gnats in my leca, but I found dead ones before in the reservoirs. So I just leave it on there for a second, just as I would with my regular plant spray, and then wipe down all the leaves. My variegated monstera, the cutting from my mother plant, is doing great. Check her out. Look at that beautiful, I mean like that color, oh my goodness. So pretty. Loving the leca life as my plants do. And look at this new leaf. Oh, it has a slit. Okay. I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't want to accidentally like rip it off, because I feel like that's something I would totally do. Here's a different angle of me doing the same thing. Just rinsing through like so. That looks good enough to me. This one I have in a regular bowl. I just rinsed out the bowl that's just holding the water reservoir. So this right here is exactly why I have not converted any more plants to semi-hydroponics, even though I would love to. I don't want to be using all of our bowls, because then we would run out of bowls and that'd be really dumb. I love to go find pots at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls. They have the cutest things, at least around my area, and I don't want to buy any of the stuff online. I just want to go find it because that's what I like. So that's why I'm holding off. So then we have eating bowls. That's already rinsed through. I'm gonna stick it back in here. Ooh, look at those roots. For this one, I'll just pour through the top. So I put the plant back in here. It's in a bowl that's now hidden, as you saw, and I just stuck it straight in here because it's like made out of terracotta material. You can spray your plant spray just directly on top. That's what I do, at least, if I don't feel like just spraying down all the leaves and having to wipe those down. I definitely wipe down my leaves when I feel like it's necessary. If it looks dusty, I mean, I want my plants to photosynthesize to its best ability and thrive. But if I feel like I've already done it recently and I don't need to wipe down the leaves and all that, I will just rinse the leaves with water and do the flush through, and then just spray the plant spray at the top of the leca. So the plant spray that I usually make, I have been using it on all of my plants in this method for a very long time, and I have not found it to harm my plants. So just make sure that when you make your plant spray to be careful and not make it too concentrated. And I feel like it's a good prophylactic treatment because I have not had pests. Look at my Repotting tetrasperma, the non-tissue cultured one. This one's in a teeny tiny little pot. I have to be a little bit more gentle with this one because it's in such a small pot and it could obviously topple over. So let me make sure the water pressure is not too much. And kind of hang on to the plant. Again, rinsing the leca, flushing through, rinsing the leaves while hanging on to the plant. Sometimes you get some buildup on the sides. What I like to do is kind of just rinse that through with water as well. Pouring the water in here. Putting the plant back in. It's all potted up. Okay, so from your perspective, do you think this looks like an easy process? Because in my opinion, it's a really easy process. I don't like to do more than I have to for my plants. I love my plants, but I don't see a need to do more than I have to if my plants are doing really well. So to have heard people complain and say that semi-hydroponics is more work. In my opinion, it's not. If you have seen my in-between flush days, and if you're watching this flush day video now, I don't think it's more work. I feel like it's less work in my opinion, because the mixing of the nutrient parts, although it looks like it's a lot, Milo, he sounds like a lawnmower. Although the mixing of the nutrients part and pH adjustment seems like a lot at first. I feel like it becomes muscle memory, so then you don't even think of that as part of the process because it's really quick. You just flush your plants, refill the nutrient reservoir. When the water level goes down, you add more water, and then you flush your plants again, replace the nutrient waters, add more water. I don't know. Seems pretty easy to me. Check out the micins. You can see that the water in this reservoir has like almost completely dried up. There's still some water in here. The plant looks fine. I wouldn't freak out about that. I just wouldn't personally let it dry out for way too long, because let's say if I left this for another week, then I probably would have a drying out plant as it would be to underwater plant in soil. If my schedule doesn't allow and I don't have time to go through and have an actual flush day, what I do is I will just refill, just as I would on my in-between days, just refill it up with water to like buy myself time until I can flush it again. So I've definitely done that. Like, let's say I know that my flush day is coming up in the next week or so, and I know by like tomorrow it's gonna be completely dried up. You can just throw some water in there and then wait until the flush day and replace the nutrients, do this all again. Yeah, this is one that I'm not gonna rinse all the leaves right now because it's just gonna make my floors completely soaking. Definitely for this one, not spray on all of the leaves. I'm just gonna spray the top. Okay, so here is a tip to do it really, really quickly. If you have plants that are like sitting near each other anyways, pull them out. Whoa. You could just pull them out and place them in the sink. I've mentioned this on my Instagram, Pothos, thriving in semi-hydroponics. I don't know why people think that it is gonna die in semi-hydro, but it's one of the easiest. These are all on my honeycomb shelves. Yeah, so I'm gonna just flush them all at once. So now that I got these in the sink, I'm gonna do all of them at once. Rinsing through. Just make sure that you don't like miss the actual flushing part because there's so many of them in the sink now. I start out like this, focusing on the leca, and then I can go through and, you know, rinse the leaves. So go through here, leca, rinsed, and then some leaves. And same with this one. Got the leca focus, and then the leaves. I'm gonna rinse their pots through really quick and replace all the nutrients for those, and then that is, yeah, 4 down. Also with this, I can go through and just spritz the top with my Prophylactic plant spray. That is so pretty. Now I have to go mix some more nutrients, so I will be right back. So this fiddle leaf fig right here is in semi-hydroponics. Oh, I turned it around so it would even out. This is the newest leaf, and it's huge. I have to bring it over to the sink. Let's do that. So I have to pick it up like this because now it's dripping. Wait for it to stop dripping so I don't get it all over my floors. You know, I screwed it up. Just wipe it afterwards. Okay. Okay, it's definitely hitting this in depth. Let's make this up there. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do when this gets huge, because you know how fiddle leaf figs get. Look. You see that? I mean, it's the same process though. I'm gonna rinse it. And for this, it's obviously a much larger container than my other one, so I'm gonna rinse it just a little bit longer than I would for the other plants, you know? It has a lot more to drain through. The spray, plant spray at the top like I did for every single one. It's not like it's gonna change anything other than the fact that it's a little bit more of a pain in the butt when I have to flush it, because look at this setup. It's in a basket because I need it to look cute, right? It has a plastic bag lining on the inside. Inside of that, it has the trash bag so I don't get actual water anywhere. This right here is the clear saucer that holds the water reservoir for this large fiddle leaf fig. Rinse that. This is what the fiddle leaf fig came in the first place. It's not even like a regular nursery container. It's one of these. I just don't like the appearance of it. So that's why it's hidden by the basket. Why I have this in here And I've been reusing this one. It's not like I'm replacing the trash bag. But look. That would have been soaked through the basket onto my floors. So it's like that. I am gonna just take my nutrient, pour it in until it's at the 1/3 level. That looks good. And now I'm gonna stick this back in like so. So that's pretty much done. This Prophylactic has been loving the leca. This is the new leaf. Isn't that crazy? It's huge. No matter what type of plant it is, this is a snake plant. I treat it exactly the same in the process. I don't purposely let this dry out more. Water is at the 1/3 level. I treat it the same as all the other ones. I'm gonna go through and I have a lot more plants to do, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Is that a good angle? Crap. I don't know if I was just recording all that. I was talking for a minute.